Hello, and welcome to this introduction to GCSE Geography at Trentham Academy. Although we'll go into the specifics of the course in just a moment, I think it's important to recognise the way in which we've designed the course so that the parents, the teachers and the students can all support each other for the best possible outcomes. We use the AQA Geography GCSE course. It's got lots of the traditional topics you'll be familiar with, alongside lots of modern up-to-date topics. We're able to make it engaging, relevant, as varied topics. We've got links to other subjects and lots of the topics linked together as well, and also building skills and transferable skills throughout the course. So that's kind of the overarching themes that we want to build into our course. There will be 3 exam papers at the end of the course, and I'll go through those next. The 3 papers. Paper 1 we have physical geography, paper 2 we have human geography, and paper 3 is geographical applications. That'll make more sense in just a moment. Paper 1 is 35% and an hour and 30, as is paper 2. Paper 3 is 30% of the entire exam, and that's 1 hour and 15 minutes. We have paper 1 here. It's split into 3 sections, section A, section B and section C. Fantastic range of physical geography topics. There's some optionality in here as well. So typically the students won't study the rivers landscape, that's the bottom right, and we've chosen the hot deserts over the cold environments to study at Trentham Academy. So traditional topics, earthquakes and volcanoes in the tectonic hazards, looking at ecosystems and the living world, and the UK geography, so coast and also glaciated upland, so for example the Lake District. We have a really engaging human course as well. Section A is all about urban issues and challenges, so that's going to be in LIC, so lower income countries. How are people going to be developing in those? So we're going to look at Rio de Janeiro and Brazil in a little bit of depth. We're going to be looking at some of the issues in UK cities. Also the changing economic world. How do we know where is rich? How do we know where is poor? Can we reduce that gap between the rich and the poor? Also again looking at case studies of the UK and also Brazil. In section C, we're going to look at the global inequalities in the world. So that's to do with food and water and energy. Also in the UK, we've got issues around food and water and energy, and looking at those in more detail and thinking about how those might be mitigated. In number 3 at the bottom, we're going to look at energy in a little bit more detail. So that's a major world issue at the moment. Paper 3 is a really interesting paper. So that's geographical applications. There's actually nothing that the students need to know in this paper. It's all testing their skills. What can they do with the information that's in front of them? So the issue evaluation, about 12 weeks before the exam, students will get what's called a pre-release booklet, and that's for us to study in class, and they'll get asked questions about that booklet. And the skills that are being tested are, can they look at the information, look at bias, pull out the correct pieces of detail. Section B is all about fieldwork. Students will go on 1 piece of human fieldwork and also do a 1 piece of physical fieldwork. This is quite a change from previous exams in the past where students would have done a piece of fieldwork and done a large project. So that's not the case now. So what happens now in all geography GCSEs is they'll do 2 pieces of fieldwork and get assessed in that in an examination format. So that's going to be about the data collection techniques, the reliability of their data collection techniques and so forth. We've really enjoyed trying out GIS, Geographical Information Systems, with our Year 8s this year. This is a new thing that's going to be introduced in lots of new topics, and students critically evaluating data, live data, through a GIS software called ArcGIS. So we're really looking forward to embedding this in GCSE with the current Year 8s going into Year 9 next year. Even though we have paper 1, paper 2 and also paper 3, in reality we're going to spread those topics out so we don't end up with just a physical year and just a human year. We're going to intersperse those throughout the course, and we've already started the planning of this. So we can see here what's going to happen in November 2023. Students are going to be studying a changing economic world, number 3, in a newly emerging economy, which is going to be Brazil. So you can see the department is quite well organised. We know what's going to come up. However, this is really adaptable as well. We can easily swap topics around. So for example, if there's a large tropical storm that happens that's suitable to study, then we'll study that at the same time because we want it engaging, up to date and relevant for the students. One of the main questions we often get asked as member of staff is geography for my child. What is geography for? Why is it important? So I'm going to lead through some questions here which might help you to decide. Geography has always proved to be a popular option subject, and I think that's to do with the range of transferable skills, the variety in the course. Some broad questions. Are the students interested in places, foreign places? Are they interested in solving problems? Are they interested in making the connections between the people and the environment? In terms of practical questions, do they like the window seat on airplanes? When there's a map, do they kind of like to study maps and kind of get into the map and figure out what's going on there? Like to be outside, maybe use different types of technology to solve problems or present their information? Do they like to see the big picture? And that kind of includes being a little bit argumentative, seeing the positive, seeing the negative, coming up against things, and that's great. There's a brilliant quote at the bottom about why geography is important, because it's about the skills that we develop. They're not about those narrow skills. It's about being inquisitive and determined and committed and looking at the different sides of the argument. When students see these headlines, say in newspapers or on websites, are they likely to kind of just click on it and go, oh, that looks a little bit interesting? If so, maybe geography is an option for them. Are they a little bit curious about what's going on? What are the causes of these things? In terms of geography, we want students who want to be enthused about the world around them, be inquisitive, looking at different points of view, as we said before, making decisions, and start to become very independent learners, and we'll support that in school as well. But more importantly, or as importantly, as staff, we love teaching geography. We want to teach relevant, up-to-date geography, not things that happened 20, 30 years ago. We want to inspire students to look at things in new ways, look at a range of materials, and we want to help you to help your child at home. That's what we want to do. Every so often we'll give out surveys, and we'll want students to give us feedback about how we can improve, what's going well, what do we keep on doing. So some fantastic things here about the culture that we've built within the geography department. What do we want to do? So words like enthusiastic, motivation, feedback, I feel supported, it's well explained, time and effort into resources, supporting in us revising well. And I like the one at the top right, which was, would you recommend other students choose GCSE geography? And overwhelmingly, we've got a big yes bar there. Now, of course, there's other questions that we get, and they're going to be about what can we do to improve. And there's all kinds of things that we've done that we've improved. So, for example, in the structure of exam questions, including GIS, using different types of resources. So those are the things that we take on board and also improve in the department. In Year 8, we start to include glimpses of the GCSE course. So, for example, we've got here in green some of the aspects that students will already be familiar with, and we've taught them in most instances at GCSE level. We've just pulled out a few bits so that students get a feel for the kind of detail that they need in their work. Here's some more work, and they did this just before Christmas. It's all about levels of development in countries. So they'll notice on here some of the things they've already done, and again we've taught this at GCSE level so they get a flavour for what's going on. There are a huge number of career opportunities in geography, both direct and indirect. The direct career opportunities in geography, those are the ones that link directly to the subject. The indirect ones are the ones where you're going to use a lot of skills where you've studied geography. However, in the vast majority of cases, there might be students who are not doing a kind of a geography type job, but they will be using the skills and the techniques that we've developed in school, those transferable skills. More information from that can be found on Firefly, subjects, geography, and then go on to careers. That will bring up a page that looks like this. Scroll down, there's all kinds of direct and indirect examples and a list of the transferable skills that we will develop throughout the course. Here's some examples of the more detailed outlines about the different types of jobs. So the questions are, if you're fascinated by the natural environment or where you live, what affects people's lives, the economy, global issues, maps, software, further or higher education, there's jobs in all of those. There's also lots and lots of video case studies on the Firefly Subjects Geography website in the careers section. We're always pleased to see a large number of students leaving Trentham and going on to study geography at A level and then often at university as well. We have fantastic local provision for geography at A level at college. So the Sixth Form College, St Joseph's College and Newcastle College all deliver great geography courses. In addition, at Sixth Form College, some of the related A levels are environmental science and also geology. We have links with Keele University and also Staffordshire University give great geography courses. There's loads more details on the UCAS website there. We're going to go through some information about how we support the students and how parents and carers can support students at home as well, and how we can help you to do that. So here's just a flavour of some of the ideas. We've come up with a learning and revision system called Tab Geography, TAB, the absolute basics. So you can see there in the top left, you've maybe got 12 to 16 lessons worth of work all condensed down into one small revision sheet. And we acknowledge it can be difficult for parents to support children at home because knowing 10 GCSE courses, it's hard to know what questions to ask. So what we've put alongside the tab geography is some questions on Firefly, and you can see those that are overlaying there. And those are the questions that parents can ask students to keep that knowledge fresh in their heads. And these are easily accessible on Firefly. There's lots and lots of revision resources. So at the top left, again, you can see the tab geography. We've got revision clocks at the top right. We've got knowledge organisers, so students can make sure they've got all the bits in there. And we've got an example of what the Firefly site looks like for one particular topic, which is hot deserts. Every single lesson is in there with revision resources as well. We also have some fantastic revision materials, so access to GCSE Pod and also a fantastic revision guide. So AQA Geography. AQA only deliver one geography course and it's the largest exam board as well, so all the efforts go into that one geography course. On Firefly, in the subjects Geography and AQA GCSE, you'll be able to see examples of all of the outline of the course. Every single topic you can see there. So we've got 3 examples there. We've got UK landscapes, coasts and glaciers. Every single topic has got the lesson by lesson outcome. It's got the specification. So what does the exam board say we need to know? And also it's got exam questions, links to GCSE Pod, links to knowledge organisers. So it's all on there. So everything the students need to know is easily accessible. In terms of exams, we know that Teenage Minds is a fantastic thing, but sometimes it's not as well organised as it might be. So we give students a revision schedule for their main exams, end of year 10, mock exams, the end of year exams, and also their main end of course exams. This helps to structure their time. It also helps parents as well to help students to structure their time at home. After main exams, we will collate the marks and merge these together and give students detailed feedback on what they're doing really well at and some areas that they need to improve at. So we get a little bit more forensic in terms of their revision, and they make their revision notes on the topics that are most important or the wikis topics. So how can you help us? There's some things about the home study environment. It's fantastic if the students have a kind of a clean, calm environment at home. Just chatting about geography in the news in the yellow box there, things that happen all the time, look at the positives and the negatives. If you happen to go into a day out in the blue box here, here's some of the case studies that we look at. So Llandudno, North Wales, Tlacara, Rhyl, and also glaciation near Windermere and the Lake District. Also, keep an eye on local projects. This comes up in the course as well. If there's regeneration initiatives, is it a positive, is it a negative? Have that discussion with them. Always look at the positive, always look at the negative. These kind of conversations really help us in school because it makes these things more familiar. So you can see, we've got that link between parent and teacher and student. How we as teachers can help to support you, how parents can help support the students, and actually even through the surveys, how the students can support the teachers. If you have any further queries, feel free to go onto the Trentham Academy website. There's the curriculum page, and also the Firefly page will give you lots of information. It's on the AQA GCSE Geography page, and that will give you the GCSE outlines in each one of the topics. Or email us at trentham@trenthamacademy.co.uk and we'll get straight back to you. Thank you for listening to this presentation. We look forward to hearing from you.